What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video in the cooking series. So for this one, we've had this. This will be the third time this week for dinner. So it was a big hit the first night, and as soon as I made it, I was like, I need to do a video on this one because it was extremely simple. I didn't follow any recipe for this one, so I just kind of threw together ingredients that are kind of along the similar lines of other recipes that we've done in the past, except I added just a couple little ingredients here and there and added a few extra steps that I think probably made it taste a little bit better. But yeah, this is super simple. So right now I'm going to show you what I do with the protein for this meal, get that prepped, because I let it kind of just sit for usually about 20 to 30 minutes before I actually start making the dish. So this dish, I don't even know what it's called, but I would say it's like a Korean steak noodle dish. Not really a stir fry because I haven't thrown any vegetables or anything else in it. It's literally just steak and noodle, but you can definitely add vegetables. We don't have any that I like on hand, so I would probably recommend like broccoli, maybe like cabbage or cauliflower, something along those lines. But we're just gonna do the steak and noodle today. So first off, we got these little steak, like quick fry steaks. So all I do is slice these up into strips. These are something huge. Okay, so steak is cut up, so it's just in like little strips like this, maybe a little bit longer. That is it. Then I just throw that in a little Ziploc. Okay, so all I'm doing is like kind of marinating the steak, and then I add some baking soda to just break it down so it's not extremely tough and chewy when we're trying to eat it in our noodle dish. So first thing I throw in there is just some Bragg's soy sauce stuff. I don't really have a measurement. I just kind of throw some in to just give it some moisture so that I can mix it up. And then I also have been throwing in this hoisin sauce. So I'd probably say like maybe a tablespoon and a half just in here. And then for the baking soda, I just do like half a teaspoon. So half of one of these little tiny spoons. Into the bag. And then I just mix this up a little bit. And then, like I said, all I do is just throw that in the fridge for 20 to 30 minutes, let it just kind of absorb, break down a little bit, and then we actually start making the meal. Okay, so while the steak is in there, we're just gonna make the sauce, have it ready, and then that way we can just throw everything together once it's done. But for the sauce, start off with good old Bragg's again. So for this, honestly, I haven't been measuring anything, but I did the very first night, and then I've just been kind of eyeballing it close to that since. So quarter cup of Bragg's. This one's going to taste a little bit different because I've actually been using coconut aminos, and I used the last of it the other 2 times. So this one's probably going to be a little bit less sweet, but it never really had like an extremely sweet flavor to begin with. And then we still have some hoisin, and then we also have coconut sugar that we're going to be putting in here. So overall, I'm not too worried. For the hoisin, 2 tablespoons. Coconut sugar, I did 3 tablespoons, or like 3 like heaping tablespoons of this. Also, this smells funky, but I tried it just like on my finger, and it was actually like really sweet. But I was like, this smells like soy sauce or something. Okay. So 3 of those. Actually not putting this in there yet, but rice vinegar. For this one, I was doing just a tablespoon. I don't know if that's enough, but I think that's what I do for most other recipes with this one. So tablespoon, a little bit more. And then we got this Korean chili pepper paste stuff. I think it's called like gochujang or something. But I looked at the ingredients, and essentially it's just like a red pepper paste is what I'm assuming. So it just adds like a little bit of heat to it. The first night I wasn't sure, so I did about 1.5 tablespoons. The second night I did about 2 tablespoons, and it was like a nice, like kind of made your nose run a little bit. And like when I say a tablespoon, I've just been using like a spoon, but the first night I actually used a real tablespoon measurement, and 1.5 to 2 would be good. If you wanted a little bit hotter, you could probably do like 2.5 or 3 even, but
so sticky looking.
I am a wuss. Yeah, it's like a thick paste for this. I'm not gonna lie, the first time I used this, I thought there was gonna be like red dye in here or something because it's so red, but it's dye free. Okay, last ingredient going in this sauce is freshly grated ginger. So I'm doing like a tablespoon. Oh my god. Take off my knuckles.
I'm gonna buy you a new one of those for Father's Day.
You should. Okay, so this is going to be the main components of the sauce. I'm going to just kind of stir this around a little bit. It's kind of tough to stir with the paste in there because it's so thick, but just kind of break it up a bit. And then what I have been doing as well is I do like 2-3 tablespoons of just water in a little bowl. So I'll fill like a little bowl like this with 3 tablespoons of water, and then I'll do 1 tablespoon of cornstarch. And I'll mix that together separately, and that's just like our little cornstarch slurry to just throw in here to make it nice and thick after. And then it becomes like a nice creamy sauce, especially with the noodles we're using. It's pretty dang amazing. But sauce is done. Now we're just waiting on the meat. But while we're waiting on the meat, we're gonna go ahead and boil the noodles. So I'm not gonna show you the process of that because it's extremely easy. Just throw some water in a pot, and we've been using these brown rice ramen ones. We've been doing 4 pucks of this. We did 3 the first night, and Stacy wasn't satisfied. She was like, I wish we did 4. So we're gonna do 4 today. But for those, and then just get those ready. By the time that those noodles are probably coming close to ready, we should be able to start frying up the steak and just mix kind of everything together. So I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so the water just started boiling for these noodles, so I'm just going to pop 4 of these pucks in here. Okay, so those don't take very long to cook, so maybe about 5 minutes, but we're about ready to throw our steak in there and start cooking that up. So I've just got a pan with a little bit of olive oil in there, so about a tablespoon of olive oil. And we're just going to dump our marinated steak into that. And then it's really nice because it's fast fry steak, so it doesn't take too long. So once the steak is like browned, then I just go and mix in the sauce, and then I kind of let it cook in there a little bit, and then we dump in the cornstarch little slurry, and then get it nice and thick, and then we mix it all together, and we have a majestic meal. Right?
Perfect word choice. Not even a stretch.
Still recording. Okay, one thing I forgot to do is usually I add about a tablespoon of the garlic paste in with the steak. You see it? Mm-hmm. So the steak is nice and browned.
No,
so now I typically just turn it to like a very low heat. And then we just mix in our amazing sauce. And for that gochujang sauce, or however you say it, for that one, depending on where you live, you might not be able to find it, but it's typically in the international section. I found it at Walmart, and it wasn't very expensive. I think it was like $5 for that tub, and we've made 3-4 meals with that so far, and there's still over half left. So it goes a long way. And honestly, I was kind of terrified. It's so red, and it just looks hot, but it wasn't bad. It's actually really good, so I like it a lot. Okay. Oh, noodles are done. We lost your portion of noodles. It landed in a bowl if you want it.
No.
I don't want to forget about it.
I thought you were gonna
throw it back in there.
You would never.
Not a chance. So just kind of like cooking it on a very low heat. It thickened a little bit, but we'll move the camera. So it thickened a little bit, but it's still very liquidy, which is why we add that cornstarch in there. Every time I do this, I'm always like, this is way too much liquid. It's just going to make it worse, but it's insane how quickly it just how quickly it thickens it up a lot. So kind of stir that around. It also, I don't know, kind of gives it like a nice creamy looking color to it. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit and just let this kind of cook before I add in the noodle. Splatterville. So you can tell it's like really starting to thicken now. Oh yeah. So creamy. Stop saying that, you weirdo. All right. So we got our noodles in here. Now you take your thongs and you just kind of fling it around a bit. I would? Oh yeah. Get it nice and mixed in there. Man, I swear every time we do 4 pucks, it's always like a different, like it looks like so much noodle all of a sudden. And I mean, it is a lot of noodle, I guess, but not for little noodle eater over there. Should have had you mic'd up. Just feel bad for the noodles. They're going to a good place. Get in my belly. But we're going to plate this up now. Like, how good does that look?
So good.
Oh, turn that off. But we're going to plate this. We're going to add in some little pizzazz. And then we'll show you. All right. So we got our 2 bowls here. So, you know, this recipe could probably feed a family of 6. But we'd be hungry. We've been doing a lot of work outside and stuff. So we're going to crush this. It's so good. So we're not even going to pretend like it's 6 servings. This is 2. And I probably got 5. But take a bite for the camera. I already know this is going to be so good. Look at that. Nice heat. Got our nice vegetables on top.
Homegrown.
It's so good. For me, it has just the right amount of heat to like know that there's heat in it, but it's not like burning or making me hate life. So I love it. It's super creamy. It's fantastic. If you can find the noodles, we get them at Costco because they're just like the best price for them, like significantly cheaper than anywhere else you would find them. But phenomenal. Like this is like a 10 out of 10 recipe. The first time I made it, Stacey actually said that this was her favorite out of all of the meals that I've cooked for the cooking series so far, which I was like, that's cool because I just kind of threw it all together, didn't follow a recipe, and it just turned out so good. So 10 out of 10 for me, 10 out of 10 for Stacey for sure. But we are going to go crush this. So hopefully you enjoyed. I will leave the ingredients in the like kind of like the loose recipe because I didn't make a real recipe, so I'll give you the directions on how we made this in the description. But if you like this video, make sure to give it a like, comment down below if you gave this video a try or if there's anything else you want to see me make. I really want to start branching out to different kind of recipes, but honestly I just like this is like my favorite type of food. Like I love any stir fries, any like dishes like this just are tend to what I crave and gravitate to. So that's what I end up making. But let me know if there's anything you want to see me attempt to make, and we'll try to make it happen. Don't forget to subscribe, turn the notifications on, because as you know, we have a video that goes live every Saturday at 9 a.m., so you don't want to miss it. But other than that, I have nothing else to say, so I will see you in the next video.